Hello students, in last class we have discussed theories which are involved in the catalytic process. Okay, so the first one is intermediate compound formation theory, the second one is adsorption theory. What happens in the intermediate compound formation theory? There were formed intermediate compound. It means the reactant and the catalyst, any one of the reactant in the react with the catalyst and it forms the intermediate product. That intermediate product, it is react with another reactant and it forms the product. And then after that what happens? The desorption process will take place with the product and the catalyst. So the catalyst is come out and the product will be formed. That we have studied in the intermediate compound formation theory. Next, what we have moved on, that is in the adsorption theory. Adsorption theory, what it is, the name itself indicating that is adsorption. We have studied in the beginning. Adsorption process, it is one of the exothermic process. Okay, so here the adsorption was taken place. For example, the catalyst is having activated. It means it is having surface. That surface it is having free valencies. Okay, free valencies. These free valencies which supports for the adsorption of reacting gaseous molecule on the surface of the catalyst. So during that time what happens? The energy will be released. Okay, the catalyst it is having the free valency sites. So on the free valency sites it adsorbs the gaseous reactant molecules. So during that time what happens? The energies will be released. Okay, the energy will be released. That energy it acts as an activation energy to form a product. Okay, for example, if you consider X plus Y is the reactants, these two are the reactants, they give the products P. Okay, so during that time what happens? I am going to add the catalyst C. This catalyst it is having free valencies. That free valency what happens? It absorbs the gaseous molecules. Okay, or else the molecules on its surface. So by the time what happens? So this adsorption, so during this chemical reaction it needs energy, that is called as activation energy. So that energy if you provide, so externally that energy we doesn't know how much amount of energy it needs for completion of this reaction. So if you add, instead of providing the activation energy, if you add the catalyst to this reaction, what happens? This catalyst it provides the activation energy in the lower amount. It is suitable for the production of product. Okay, so it is suitable for the production of product. So that's why this catalyst it is very helpful for the providing of activation energy during the course of chemical reaction. Okay, so that is called as adsorption theory. Okay, adsorption theory. We shall put a graph for this. Okay, see, in x-axis we shall take progress of reaction. Okay, progress. Okay, this is a progress, and here we shall take in y-axis this is energy versus progress. How much energy it acquires for the completion of the reaction or else formation of product, and the progress. See, here the reactants. Okay, and here the product is formed. Okay, so here the energy, this is the energy which is necessary to form. Until this the reactants will be there. After this what happens? The product will be starts to form. Okay, this is uncatalyzed reaction. Okay, so here EU you can take as a EU. So it needs this amount of energy to form a product when the reactants are reacting each other. When you add the catalyst, what happens? That catalyst it alters the path. It alters the path of this reaction. Okay, the path is like this in the beginning. When you add the catalyst, so the path will be, it provides minimum amount of energy which is suitable for the formation of product. That's why this reaction it will not go to this path. Okay, it will come to this way and it forms a product very easily. So this is what do you call for this? Catalyzed reaction. Okay, so EA. Okay, so EA can take means activation energy. See, here we have added the catalyst. That's why what happens? The activity or the due to the presence of catalytic activity, the reaction it gives product very early. It means very easily. So, but whereas in case of without the catalyst, what happens? It needs some more energy. More energy in the sense the path it is more. So, the catalyst it alters the path of the catalytic reaction. Okay. So here the product will be formed. Okay. This is called as adsorption theory. The catalyst, the reactants molecules gets absorbing on the surface of the catalyst and alters the catalyst alters the path of the chemical reaction. Okay, this is the adsorption theory. By studying both of the theories, so the new theory has been established, that is called a modern adsorption theory. Okay, by combining these two, both the theories have been combined and modified as a modern adsorption theory. I think there will be a question in your mind. So, in the beginning we have started adsorption and absorption. So, in that moreover we have considered adsorption. So, why we are studying this catalysis process? What is the necessity? It means the catalysts are also undergoing the process adsorption. That's why we have to study this. Okay. So the modern adsorption theory. So what the modern adsorption theory says, the first point, the reactant molecules, take down, reactant molecules diffuses towards catalyst first. Okay, the reactant molecule diffuses towards catalyst first. After that, what happens? Due to the force of attraction of the catalytic surface, what happens? The reactant molecule strongly bonded with the catalyst. Okay, for example, consider this is a catalytic surface. The catalyst it is having small sites. Okay, activation it means the binding sites. The catalyst it is having binding sites. Here what happens? The catalyst it is having the force of attraction. For example, I take H2 and I2. Okay, so these are the reactant molecules. So when you add the catalyst, what happens? This site will be bonded with H2, and this site will be bonded with I2. Like this. See. So the reactant molecule diffuses towards the catalyst first. Okay, in what? The modern adsorption theory combines both. Which one? The intermediate complex formation theory as well as adsorption theory. So by combining both the theories, they are considered as modern adsorption theory. So in that, what happens? The reactant molecules first diffuses towards the catalyst. So after that, what happens? The diffusion. After the diffusion has been taken place, the force of attraction between the reactant and the catalyst molecule, so there will be a strong force of attraction, and it is called as activated complex. It forms activated complex. This activated complex, it forms the activated complex, and this is what you are studying in the adsorption, intermediate complex formation theory. It is called intermediate product. The same theory, procedure has been applied here. So it forms the activated complex. So after this, what happens? So there may be, not sure, might be, see these reactant molecules, especially it will happen. See these reactant molecules start to bind each other, or else start to form a bond with each other. Okay, when after the activated complex is formed. Okay, the second point you can write. After the diffusion of reactant towards the catalyst, the force of attraction between the catalyst and reactants, the activated complex will form. Okay. The third point. So after the formation of activated complex, the reactant molecule starts to combine with each other. After the formation of activated complex, the reactant molecules start to combine with each other. Okay, so that is the next point. Next point, after the formation of the bond or the combination between the reactant molecule, what happens? The product is formed. Okay, the product is formed. The formed product, it will be dissolved. Desorption process will take place. Why? Because it should be dissolved from the desorption from the catalytic surface. No, this product. So that's why what happens? The catalytic surface is dissolved, undergoes desorption process with the product. Okay. So the catalytic surface will be free and it start to again absorbing the new molecules or else new reactants. Okay, then the product will be formed. Okay. See, the product will be formed, the catalyst will be free as it is like that. So this is called modern adsorption theory. Okay, understood? In the first, so I am repeating once again. Please concentrate on this. See, first what happens? The reactant molecule starts to diffuse towards the catalytic surface. Okay, after that what happens? There will be a force of attraction. The catalyst surface, it binds the reactant molecule towards itself, and what happens? There will be a bond formation between the catalyst and the reactant molecule. After that what happens? So the neighboring reactant molecule starts to combine with each other, form a bond. Okay, after that what happens? The product will be formed. But the catalyst, it undergo desorption process and removed from the product, and it is obtained as in the initial state, and again it starts to absorbing the another reacting molecules. Okay, so this is the theory of modern adsorption theory. Okay. Let us go to the next. Okay, important features of solid catalyst. Some important features of solid catalyst that we shall discuss now. Okay, so what are the features should be there for the solid catalyst? Okay. So in that, first we shall take activity. See, what do you mean by activity? Take down the definition. The activity is the ability of the catalyst form chemical bond of enough strength. Chemical bond of enough strength with the reactant molecules. Okay, it means, see, it forms chemical bond with enough strength. For example, if the catalyst is having strong force of attraction with a reactant molecule or absorbing molecule, what happens? It will not detach or it will not undergo desorption at the end of the reaction. For example, see, A plus B is going to be react with B. A plus B are going to react. So when I add the C is a catalyst, the product P. So at the end of the reaction, what happens? The product should be formed and the catalyst should be as it is. Okay, it should be undergo desorption process and it should come out in the initial, how it was there in the initial state, like that. It should not go any changes. Okay, so if in case this catalyst, it is strongly bonded with these two reactants, what happens? There is no desorption process at the end of the reaction. So by the time what happens? The reactant molecule, the product molecule, it will be combined with the catalyst. So the reaction it will not complete. So that's why what happens? This bond should not be too much strong, or else that bond should not be more strong. Or else another one way, if in case the reactant molecule, it is weakly bonded with the catalyst, what happens? It will not undergo the formation of product very easy. So that's why the bond should not be too strong, the bond should not be very weak. Okay, it will be enough strength to form a product and it should be undergo at the end desorption process. Okay, that is called activity. The activity of the solid catalyst should be like this. It will be fixed range. One fixed range should be there for the formation of bond between reactant and the catalyst. Understood? Okay. At the end, what happens? It should be detaches from the product and it should be obtaining in the initial state. Okay. So, especially the very good example for the catalyst, that is, have you heard the word transition metals? In the first year, you have studied the transition metals. Which are the transition metals? D block elements, okay, transition elements. Okay, these transition elements, especially D block elements. So, starting from group number 5 to 11. Okay, 5 to 11 group elements. Group number 5 to 11 elements are very good very good catalyst for this catalytic reaction. Okay, so they are the very good catalyst for the catalytic reaction. They are forming a covalent bond with the reactant molecules. Okay, and see here among these from 5 to 11, 7 to 9 group elements, they are most activated catalyst. Okay, most activated catalyst in the sense they are having more activity in the catalytic reaction. Okay, so see here, this will be asking for your NEET and JEE. Okay, so what you are thinking, this is not there in our syllabus, they will not ask like that. You are thinking it is not there in our textbook, but you should understand this. See, the 7 to 9, 7, 8, 9, these group elements are more, they are showing more activity. It means more active elements for the catalytic activity. Okay, so that's why this is called as activity of the catalyst. Okay, next another one is, that is selectivity. See, selectivity in the sense, it is very common to you people. If you go to the class center or else class shop, any shop you will go to that, you will select first your desired thing, which is else color or size, something you are going to select anyone. Okay, selectivity is also very important in this. How to select that? It means, see, in the beginning I said that not all the catalysts can catalyze all the reaction. Not all the catalysts can catalyze all the reaction, but a single or else a reactant, a single reactants or else same type of reactants. Okay, single reactants, reactants can give different product with different catalyst. See here, single reactants can give different products with different catalyst. For example, see M plus N both are reactants. Okay, I am going to add the C is the catalyst. It gives the product P. Okay, so single reactant. This is catalyst. Okay, the same M plus N. Okay, I am going to add. If you add this, what is it? The same catalyst to this, it will give the same product. But if I add any other catalyst, for example, X is a catalyst. Okay, so if I add the different catalyst, these two are the different catalysts. If I add this catalyst to these two reactants, what happens? The product may differ. It will be Z. Okay, but the reactant will be same. What? The catalysts are different and the product is also different. It means a specificity. The catalyst can only give specific product. Okay, specificity will be there in the catalyst. Okay, so let us see about that. For example, if you are considering carbon monoxide and hydrogen and both are reacting, see, in case of, if I add copper to this reaction, what might be the product? It gives, what is the name of this compound? Formaldehyde. It gives formaldehyde. Okay, whereas in case of, if I change this catalyst, that is ZNO, Cr2O3. Okay. If I add to ZnOR Cr2O3, what happens? It gives methanol. Okay, it gives methanol. Whereas in case of here, if you add the nickel, what happens? It gives methane plus water. Okay, so this is the way. See here, the reactants are same, but the catalysts are different. In different catalytic situation, it gives different products. Okay, so which gives different products. This is called selectivity. Okay, selectivity. Anyone, if you want this product, you can select. If you consider these two reactants, if you have to select the copper as the catalyst. If you want this product with these two reactants, you have to select the zinc oxide. Okay, so that is the catalyst. Okay, or else if you want these two products, okay, so you have to add nickel to these two reactants. It means the reactants are the different, so same, the catalysts are different and the product are also different. This is called selectivity. Okay, what we have studied till now, that is activity and selectivity. Activity, it is based on what? Their activity in the sense how they are reacting with the catalyst, reactants. Here the selected suitable catalyst can give suitable product. Okay. Or else you can write this one in the chemical reaction. For example, see, carbon monoxide reacts with water, which gives what? Sorry, formaldehyde. Okay, in the presence of copper. This is one condition. Second condition, carbon monoxide, which reacts with hydrogen gas. Sorry, here hydrogen gas. So what it gives? Methanol. What here? Zinc oxide and Cr2O3. Okay. So the next condition, next one is carbon monoxide and H2 gas, which gives methane and water. Okay. So this is in different condition. Okay. Please take down these reactions. Let us go to the next. That is shape selective. Or else we shall go to the one of the very important catalysts. That is, have you heard the word zeolite? Zeolite. See, this zeolite is one of the catalysts. This zeolite is one of the catalysts. Zeolite means it is a shape selective catalyst. Why it is called shape selective catalyst? It is 3D dimensional network will be there. It is a one kind of aluminosilicate compound complex. Okay, or else aluminosilicate. Here there will be a bond. Silicate bond is replaced by aluminum like this. Okay, like this will be bond will be formed in the zeolite. It is honeycomb-like structure. It is one of the catalysts. Okay, it is most usable catalyst in the industries, especially the petrochemical industries. They are going to use this zeolite. Okay, so there is a general formula for that. Zeolite general formula is X by N. Okay, PlO2 X SiO2 Y and Z H2O. Here, where M is the charge on the cation. For example, Na plus Ca plus 2, like this. Okay, so the charge N is the number of the charge on the catalyst, cation, and whereas in case of Z is the number of moles of water, in the reaction. This one, Z. Okay, so this is the general formula of zeolite. Okay, so it is 3D dimensional structure it will give, and it is honeycomb-like structure. And moreover, using the zeolite is in petrochemical industry, that is ZSM5. This ZSM5 is the one of the zeolite. It will be using in the petrochemical industry to convert directly the hydrocarbons to alcohol to hydrocarbons. Okay, from alcohols to hydrocarbons can be, from hydrocarbons to alcohol can be directly converted by this zeolite. Okay, so that is called that is ZSM5. Okay, so this is about the one of the catalyst, that is called shape selective catalyst. It is one of the product of what? Aluminosilicate. Okay, so this is shape selective catalyst. Okay, after this there will be catalytic activity of biological catalytic activity will be there. That is biological activity. It includes, that is, enzymes. It is very important, children. In the next class we shall discuss regarding enzymes, which how it works and how the enzymes are working as a catalyst. That we shall discuss in the next class. Thank you.